No, I didn't know that Ohio lawmakers introduced a bill to make unprotected sex a felony. What? Why? Of
It
course
is
it's in
called
Ohio.
it's called the Conception Begins at Erection Act. And they I love the way it's written. It's a ballsy move, but two Ohio state representatives have introduced a bill that would make it illegal for men to have unprotected sex if it's not intended to make a baby. And if the Conception Begins at Erection Act passes, men in Ohio could be charged with a felony if they discharge genetic material without intending to get a woman pregnant.
Discharge genetic material without the intent. So masturbation is bad.
No, they have an exemption for masturbation.
They have an exemption for masturbation.
They do. However, discharge genetic material could mean a lot of things. Like, there is genetic material in your saliva, so you're not allowed to spit.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed to blow your nose.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I don't understand why.
So
Why?
it will become clear.
It,
The bill does
it will
provide exceptions.
become clear.
Yes, it will become clear because you're not allowed to have anything in the cum.
You can't have anything in the cum. No. No pooping, no crying, no blowing your nose, no peeing on Donald Trump. That's genetic material you've discharged without the intent of making a baby.
I think if all is going well, I don't think there's supposed to be genetic material in your pee.
You think there's not DNA in the pee? Like any kind.
In theory, it's just like ammonia and stuff, right?
I mean, see. This is the area where I'm not an expert, so I actually don't know.
I know that there is a myth that pee is sterile, which is a myth that is not true.
Yeah, where people are like, pee on the wound, sterilize it.
Okay, that I hadn't heard. I thought it was like like peeing on a jellyfish sting makes it sting less, which is also false. It will make it sting more. Yeah, Fennec says, I mean, surely some urethral cells would come off with it. Would that count as a discharge, though?
I mean, I think definitionally, peeing is discharge. It is.
Yeah,
it is
but the
discharging
urethral cells
pee.
just shedding off into it is not discharging the cells. It's whoops, it got scraped. I don't know. I don't know. This all hinges on what counts as a discharge.
They're just trying to make gay sex illegal, I guess.
No,
Yeah,
they're not. No, they're not. There's an exemption
there's
for
an exemption
LGBTQ
for
people.
there's an exemption for gay sex.
So the bill provides exceptions if the male partner uses protection or contraception, masturbates on their own, donates sperm, or is a member of the LGBTQ plus community.
So wait, hold on. That means if you're a bisexual man and you fuck a woman unprotected, then you are exempt from this bill.
I suppose yes.
You're a member of the LGBTQ community. It's the B,
I'm aware of that.
and you discharged without intent to make a baby.
I love how everybody's going into okay. Autistic bionerd here, piss has dead red blood cells in them after your body takes the iron out of it. So yes, they do. No, red blood cells don't they not have genetic material in them? Isn't that like the red blood cells whole thing?
Jessa says the people who elected these two voted for Vance.
And no. Okay, it's how have you not figured this out yet? Anyway, Fennec says also if you ejaculated recently, you may have some rogue sperm that could end up in the urine. So I've just hacked this whole thing by having a vasectomy. So
I see. You're cum maxing over there.
But also, I guess I am technically in the LGBTQ community, so
The B or the,
So
or
I
the
get-
P. I guess that's just
I guess technically I would
that's
be
just
in the
the
queue.
Q. Yeah, that's just the Q at that point. The idea that expanding the acronym further and further when the Q exists just no. The Q is there for that.
Yeah. And they say, you think it sounds nutty? Yes, I do think it sounds nutty.
Yeah.
You'll get no arguments from Representative Anita Samani, who co-sponsored the bill with fellow Democrat Tristan Rader. So this was a Democrat-sponsored bill.
Why?
Why? It's to provoke this reaction from Republicans. Say, hey, you are regulating women's bodies. We're going to regulate men's bodies.
I mean, I guess, but like it's It's still nightmarishly stupid, but I guess calling it nightmarishly stupid is the point.
Okay. Axo says Google says red blood cells have DNA fragments. So they don't have cell nuclei, I think. But that's still genetic material. Anyway. So one of the sponsors of the bill says, is my bill offensive because it dares to attack men? Maybe, but again, as an OBGYN, she is an OBGYN, by the way, just in case you hadn't figured that out from me saying as an OBGYN just now. So as an OBGYN, I'm against regulating anyone's reproductive rights, she said. Those decisions, she argued, should be between the patients and the physician without criminal penalties being built into bills conservative organizations are promoting across the country.
While fair, what happens in the nightmarish scenario where this gets voted on as a yes?
Well, that's why all the exemptions were built into it.
As a just in case, like if this happens,
if it actually passes, it's got no no testicles. It doesn't have the balls to actually.
Jesus.
It is impotent.
I see where you're coming with this.
So yeah, because like if you go through these exceptions, it's basically like the only time you would be having sex with someone in violation of this bill is if you are not using any contraception whatsoever. Actually, no. I suppose okay, no, so this does still affect straight men if their partner is like on the pill or something. Because they are not using contraception, their partner using. Okay, so it does still have some teeth.
Milk Boy says, what I want to know is how would this be enforced? So if you want to know how something like this would be enforced in a nightmare scenario, then look at the history of Florida's cohabitation bill. So Florida has a bill on the books that says that cohabitation without marriage is illegal. In times past, it has been enforced, and the way it was enforced was by asking fellow citizens to tattletale on one another. This is literally the only way that stuff like this works is when the citizenry...
So what I'm hearing is that this would take some cooperation with some willing lady folk to basically do a big honeypot operation on all of the GOP.
You're in violation of the cum bill.
Like, hey, I would like to, I was using protection, but he wasn't. Therefore, yeah, this could be good. I wouldn't expect anyone to actually. I would not ask a woman to sleep with a Republican, because that's just gross. There's some things that are just like.
There are some things that should always be beneath you, and not in a sexy way.
Yeah. Men. Oh yeah. So they're she's talking about how it's unfair that in what is ostensibly the developed world, men and women don't actually have equal rights depending on where you go. So men can go in any state in the United States and have the same rights no matter where they are, but women can't.
That's a fun thing about the whole argument about let's give this stuff back to the states. Do you think geography changes what's moral and what's not? Is that
the only thing that states' rights has ever been used for is to make people not have equal rights? Like, it was slavery back in the day, it's women's rights now, it's LGBTQ rights now. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. Always has been, gun to head. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I really could not do any of this without all of you. Those of you watching, and especially those of you who support me on Patreon. I wanted to go ahead and take a minute to thank all of you who do that, because with YouTube being what it is these days, I really cannot do this full-time without the support from each and every one of you. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Tales of Atonement, Nixie Chan, Kiri Artemis, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that, Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fireshard. Thank you so very much. But since you're here, why not go ahead and try watching another one? There should be one that's on the screen right now. And if you are a patron of mine, I wanted to go ahead and thank you again for all of your support. There is still a video you could press though, if you'd like. I would appreciate it just a little bit.